Hey everyone, so it's the 26th of December, it's the day after Christmas, day after Xmas, this is something I don't do. I just wanted to do a quick video about it, to be honest, because every year it's the same issue. People keep celebrating things that they just don't understand, have no concept of really, and then for some of those, they understand it but still quite happy to stay ignorant to it, which confuses me, to be honest, but hey, it is what it is. Now, in case you didn't know, Christmas, obviously, it's got nothing to do with, the birth of Jesus Christ and Christianity, in essence. What it is actually a pagan festival. It's quite demonic by nature, but I just want to take a step away from that for a second, because I feel like a lot of other YouTubers have been doing stuff. Sorry, this phone keeps sliding. A lot of other YouTubers keep doing things in relation to the whole demonic side of Christmas, Xmas, Saturnalia, and all that nonsense. But one thing to note is, initially, Xmas was almost like, if you've seen The Purge, it was like that. It was the day of the year that all crimes and everything was completely legal and allowed. Legal. But what I want to talk more about is the forced consumerism aspect of it, and how much people get caught up into this nonsense. People say, oh, it's nice because it's all about the family and whatever else. Okay, well, if that's the case, then why are you still shopping and spending money and putting yourselves into debt for presents and things that just don't matter really if it's just about family? And if it is about family, why do it on Christmas Day? Why not do it on another day? Why do it on Xmas Day? If it's about family, you can do it any time, right? And it shouldn't have any presents, because you don't need to be forced into consumerism, which is mainly what most of these holidays push, these Hallmark holidays. These Hallmark holidays, all they're about really is, it's consumerism. It's designed to force you into spending money and putting yourself more and more into a financially vulnerable situation. And the reason that's important, because the more money and finances are a stress and an issue to you, it's the more you need the system. It's the more you need them to be there for you, so you can give your time and your sweat equity in order to receive the fiat currency, the worthless cash system that we have. And I'm not a fan of it. And the only reason I'm doing this video is because I want people to understand that the biggest problem with all of this is, it's the forced consumerism aspect. Regardless of your religious belief or whatever have you, one thing that we all have in common with this, and it's the thing that I always focus on, it's the common cause. It is the global elite system that controls how we do things and how we live. And if you're constantly in debt, then you're constantly in need to work. And if you're constantly in need to work, then other things like family and your personal relationships are always going to be, they're always going to be deprived, to be honest, because there's no way you can balance out your work and still have all the time that you need to do everything else that you need in terms of growing as a person, as an individual, but also spending time with your family and your loved ones to maximum capacity. There's always going to be a balancing act, and someone has to pay the price, right? I think we can all agree with that. So that's my big bone with that. I understand some of you may not believe and understand the fact that it is a demonic holiday, and it's pagan. And if you don't know what that is, please go ahead and do some research. But one thing we can all understand, it is forced consumerism, and it needs to stop. And the only one who can stop it is you. It's us. It's the people who are still choosing to partake in these Hallmark holidays. We are the ones that are perpetuating our own control. I don't understand why people don't get this. Year after year, they do exactly the same thing. It's a control matrix. Every single year towards the end, people push themselves and spend credit cards and loans, money that they don't have, and push themselves deeper and deeper into the financial struggle and start the new year already in financial turmoil. I don't understand why. Again, you can take away whatever your religious belief is about it, but just look at the simple basis of something that we all struggle with. It takes away your time because it takes away your finances. And if your time is limited, then so are your finances, because that's how it works. You give your time for a monetary value, a monetary replacement, if you like. Now, the thing is, I understand a lot of people who are awake will feel very lonely this time of year. It's something that I deal with every year because people don't get it. They don't understand. Okay, they don't understand that you want to do something completely different than what the rest of society does. And for them it's incredibly confusing because for a large part of it, people enjoy being sheep. Actually, if we look at social media and where it's gone in recent times, people live to be sheep. Just think about that for a second, right? Social media has put people in a position where they live to be sheep. You follow to be followed. You do pictures to be liked by others because you want to be sheep. There are trendsetters and all this, and it's all about being sheep. You know, you can try and say it's about individuality and people wanting to have their individual ideas and of fashion and whatever, but that's a load of nonsense because ultimately it still comes down to other people following you. So even if you aren't directly being sheep, which you are by using social media and outwardly projecting everything in order to get a dopamine response because someone's liked or followed you, then you're creating more sheep. Because you're telling other people that they should follow you, which is why I always say to you guys, you know, look, you don't have to follow what I say, but the whole point of this is I'm going to tell you what's there 100% as it is, and then you can go and do your own research and see whether or not it's legitimate or not, and you make the choice. I don't really care if people don't like what the truth is, but ultimately I'm still going to give you the truth. Of course, I'm always appreciative when people do comment, and you know, I see that people are starting to see exactly what's going on and being aware of it. So that's why that's important. That's why that's nice, because it, you know, as a collective we need to understand who's waking up and who's still asleep. But ultimately, if you're not perpetuating the problem, you are causing the problem. You know, you are the one leading. So you're either a trend setter by social media terms, or you're a trend follower. So either way, you're perpetuating the cycle of being sheep. And this is the same problem with Christmas, Xmas, Saturnalia, whatever you want to call it. People keep doing it, so it keeps happening, and that's the protocol. You raise your children to believe in something that you damn well know is nonsense. And if you really think about it with a common sense understanding, you will see that it's total garbage. But you perpetuate the cycle by teaching it and indoctrinating your children into the same understandings. And if you don't, when you take them to school, because you're not aware of what is, you allow them to be indoctrinated by the school. Now, with that being said, it's the old thing of you can't serve two masters, so it's either they're listening to you or they're listening to school. And in most cases, with most parents, your children are listening to the school and using them as authority over you. They don't respect you the same way they respect education. Okay, because it's the unit of measure that society uses, your education. That's what gives you value in the standing in society as we know it. The more educated you are, the higher standing you are. So your children aren't looking at you as parents and think, that's the person, that's my master. No, they're looking at the school, they're looking at the education system and saying, no, that's my master. Why do you think they call it going and getting a master's? Because you are educated to the point where you are now a master. But I mean, ultimately, if you're awake, then you know most of it is garbage anyway, because what does a piece of paper really tell anyone? Most of these exams and all this stuff is designed for you to study, pass, forget, you know, or regurgitate in most cases. All it is someone tells you something and you just have to remember it to pass an exam. Anyone in any profession, okay, you can comment below, but anyone in any profession that's been there at least 5 years will know that someone who's newly qualified does not know jack damn about the job they're really supposed to be doing, and usually it takes them 2 to 3 years to get a good footing and understand exactly where it is. This is why employers value experience rather than just qualification, because it takes you 2 to 3 years to solidify your understanding of the industry that you've studied into. Yeah? So let's get that right first and foremost. 2 to 3 years to know any damn thing about what it is that you're doing. In that meantime, you're just a person who were able to regurgitate information and pass an exam. You memorize to pass. That's it. That's how it works. So we need to stop the problem. Okay? Parents, learn what it is and take back the authority. Train your children, educate them properly. Okay? Not the indoctrination system of what the government teaches them. Of course, some of that I understand, they still need to be academics because that's the world we live in. But what I mean is to give them real knowledge. Okay, educate them fully, make them aware of the things that schools don't teach them. Okay, teach them about life. All the lessons that you've learned as parents. Okay, all the real lessons. I guarantee you, the top 10 things that you've ever learned in your life, yeah, for most part, are going to be life skills that only really were gained by experience and wisdom. Now, schools don't teach that, but you and I both know that that has the most amount of value. Yeah, because you can't buy those things, those experiences, those understandings. You can't buy them, but you can share them with your children. You can help teach and prepare them for when in these circumstances, in the event of, here's what you should be aware of. Yeah? Rather than trying to teach them how to square a circle. Because ultimately, what do we really need to survive? We need to understand ourselves, and we need to understand those around us and the things that are around us. Simple understanding of nature, human psychology and social behavior, and just a very basic understanding of finances and the business concept. So a basic understanding of economy. That's pretty much what most people need to survive out in this world, and do pretty well at that. And of course, we need to always get rid of the lazy mindset, which, you know, that kind of goes without saying, so no real need to emphasize that. But I will anyway. Wake up, people. This channel is called We Are Power for a reason, because we are powerful or powerless. The choice is ultimately yours. You choose to be powerful based on what you do and how you do it, or you're powerless because you haven't made a choice. Remember, silence or the absence of a choice is consent. So if you don't make a choice and you don't make a definitive stance on where you sit, you've given up the power that you would have had. So you are powerless. So it's we are powerful or powerless. The choice is yours, ultimately. It's yours. And if you want to be powerful, there's only one way to get power. What do they always tell us? Knowledge is power. Yeah? Cool. The bit they never add in there is that the true application of true knowledge is power. Yeah? Because there's loads of people out there with knowledge that couldn't find their mouth from their backsides. Real knowledge and the application of real knowledge is what the change needs to be. You can either be powerful or powerless, but you can't be neither. That's the point. You can't be neither. So for all of you out there who really aren't going to pick a side, guess what? It's been picked for you. Now, ultimately, if you don't pick a side, like I said, you will be powerless. Only the people who choose to be powerful will actually go and attain the right knowledge and information that they need to understand the bigger picture, so they can tend to grow and in turn fight against this oppression that's been going on for generations now. But if you choose to do nothing, you will do nothing, which means you won't grow. You won't understand the bigger picture more than what mainstream media shows you, and we all know that we can't trust that if you know anything about anything. And I'm sorry, I know some people are going to comment, but if you think you can trust mainstream media, this is the wrong channel for you. Don't even bother to write a comment. Don't even bother to put a thumbs down. Don't even worry about it. Just skip. Next video. Go. Clearly it's not for you, if you're still here. But if you can see and you understand that you can't trust what mainstream media is pushing, and you can't trust what is actually there in front of you, because the agendas are all hidden, and I guess there's a percentage of that in most people, if you're not completely asleep. Wake your damn self up fully. Make that decision. You're either powerful, powerless. You can't be both, or you can't be neither. Simple. Okay? It's that simple. Now, I wanted to add something onto the end of this. I know this video is going to be a long one, but hey, damn it, I don't care. My subscribers, I guess you guys, you like what I talk about and it interests you the same way. I don't mind watching an hour-long video because it interests me. So you're either going to like it or you're not. But what I want to talk about was these fake truthers, okay? If you've been following someone for a while and they say they're a truth seeker, you might want to ask yourself, why is it that they're still celebrating Christmas and Xmas? Because I'm not being funny. I know people wake up at different rates and at different times, but it only takes about 6 days to figure out that Christmas is nonsense. So if these guys have been truth seekers for over a year, how have they not figured out that's not the truth? Yeah? Let's figure that one out for a second. Go to their channels. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Get the hell out of here. Take that nonsense back. There are a lot of people out there, false truthers. That's what they are. Disinformation agent. They're there to, oh God, what's that phrase? Gatekeepers. Yeah? They give you so much information, but ultimately they still keep you outside of the gate. They don't allow you to walk through it. That's what they are. Or I'll tell you a little bit of truth and I'll entice you enough to listen to me and subscribe to me, but I won't give you the actual truth. Not here. I'll tell you how it is. Okay? I'll tell you how it is. Christmas, Xmas, demonic as hell. Don't believe me? Again, as I say in all my videos, loads of people, way more intelligent than I have, way more skilled than I have gone out and done the research. Spend 5-10 minutes. Go check it out. See what's there. But if you're still here at the end of this video, then A, you're an incredibly patient person. B, probably like the sound of my voice. I know I'm not really one to listen to it, to be honest, but ultimately it means that you're awake, and it means you realize what's going wrong and you're agreeing with what I'm saying to you. So I thank you very much for that. I appreciate the time that it's taking from you. I know how tiring it can be because like yourselves, I spend time consuming content as well. I need to learn and I need to be updated with what's going on. So I appreciate that you're spending that time to do that here. You're not alone. Okay? Let's let that sink in for a second. You're not alone. More and more of us are waking up. And as the chains and the shackles tighten, as the squeeze progresses and the fracture widens, more of us will wake. More of us will wake from that slumber that we call life and its elitist control. We will wake up. I just hope that the time won't be too late. But you're not alone. The whole point of this channel is I like to keep it 100% truthful and 100% real. If I don't know enough about something, I will tell you, but we need to understand that we're not alone, especially this time of year when there's things are going on that we don't agree with and we don't believe in and we know is wrong. And people around us especially, it always seems that no matter how awake you are and how much information you have and how much knowledge you have about what's wrong, it's always the same facts. Our families are still asleep. It's a constant thread. You are awake, but your family are asleep. And it's fine. They may not see you. They may not understand what it is that you're talking about. They may even talk about you and say, oh, I think that guy's lost his marble and whatnot. But you know what you have to understand? The same as anybody else who doesn't understand you, and especially those people who attack you for having a different belief, which should never happen, but they attack you nonetheless anyway. I want you to understand this one thing, please. It's not their fault. Okay? I know it's hard. I was attacked. I wrote a comment on Tyler's video over at Secure Team. Now, Tyler's into UFOs and all that stuff, and if you've been doing any kind of research, and you know UFOs are exactly the same thing that we've known them to be for thousands of years, right? They're demons. Aliens are demons. They always have been. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh no, they're not, blah, blah, blah. Look, all cultures all across the world have amounted to exactly the same point. Demons that have come through. You want to call them aliens? An alien basically means a thing that it's outside of a place of where it usually is, basically. You know, in layman's terms, it's somewhere where it's not supposed to be, you know? Illegal alien. If you're in a country you're not supposed to be there, you're an alien, yeah? That's all it means. And I simply said, I watch his channel. I'm actually subscribed to it, funnily enough. Again, you know, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? I subscribe to his channel because he gives me really, really up-to-date information on what's going on in the sky. Even though his perspective is that it's about a UFO, an alien, which, if you know anything about this stuff, you'll understand it isn't. But he gives me updates on what's going on in the sky, and I appreciate that because he makes good videos showing what's going on. And you just have to discern the real information from the misguided perception of things. But in any case, he did a video, and I merely just asked, you know, if you're a truther, why is it that you're still pushing Xmas? And I was absolutely attacked. It was an onslaught of attacks. I mean, profanity was used, and I just don't see the need for it, because I didn't actually attack a person, but I was attacked on a personal level. And that's fine, right? That's fine. I've got a thick skin. It just goes to show that people are so past the point that they're willing to attack you personally, not knowing you and not even giving your idea a chance to breathe. They will attack you. But just remember, it's not their fault. Okay? More power to you for being awake, because trust me, if you look around you, it's something that's incredibly hard to do. To wake up, it's really hard. Don't you ever forget how hard it is to wake up, because some of those people aren't as strong as you and I, and they're still asleep. And for all intended purposes, some of them might always stay asleep. But we have to understand, it's not their fault. We just have to try the best that we can do and don't retaliate to it. If you're awake, yeah, it means you know better. When I was brought up, we were always told, he who knows better does better. So if you know better because you're awake, do not retaliate. It's not worth it. It's not their fault. They attack us because they are scared, they are confused. A wild, scared, confused dog or an animal, guess what it will do? It will attack you. It's simple common sense. It's not their fault. I'll leave you with that. If I don't do another video before New Year's Eve, I just want to wish you all a happy new year, because every year it's something new. It's another time to grow. More experiences are going to come. I just want you to reflect on the last year that we've had and the year to come. 2018 is looking like it's going to be a terrible year. So I just want you to take that moment, appreciate how much you've grown as a person in the last year, and think about what you want to do in the coming year. Think about what you want to know, what you want to learn, and what you want to be ready for. Because ultimately, we might not have another one. Who knows? And that's the point. You never know. You never know with these people. But just take that time, appreciate how much you've grown as a person in the last year, how much you've learned, how much knowledge you've gained, and how better you understand not just yourself, but things around you. Do that for me. Do that for yourselves. Do that for your loved ones. Even if they're not awake, you understanding how much you've grown will still help your relationship with them, because it will allow you more patience with them. Okay? God bless you all, whether you believe in him or not. But if you're truly awake and you don't believe, again, I don't know what to tell you, but you can't be fully awake. And it's fine, right? We all come to it at some point or another. Stay blessed, my people. Stay blessed.